Hi guys, I've got another layout and process video that features a design created using 6x6 inch paper pads. And as an added bonus, I have a coupon code to share with you as well. For the layout today, I ended up using a sketch that I have at scrapbookgeneration.com. It's a set of 13 one-page sketches that all use 6x6 inch papers. It's from 2018 and it is one of my favorite sketch sets. And honestly, I think I would probably say that about any set of sketches that uses 6x6 inch papers. It just always amazes me how quickly I can create a layout when I've got a sketch and I'm using 6x6 inch papers. It really makes the process so much faster. The coupon code is for 20% off if you want to grab that set of sketches. If you enjoy using 6x6 inch papers or you are looking to use up some scraps, I think you'll really like the sketches. You can find the coupon code and link to the sketches down below. And while you're looking for that link, don't forget to go ahead and hit subscribe as well. I've also got a new set of sketches that we added to the store just the other day. It's a set of 10 one-page sketches that all feature one photo. So they're really great if you have one awesome photo you want to highlight, or maybe for title pages for your albums. And I'm mentioning them in this video because several of them would work with 6x6 inch papers. So I'll link to that down below as well. And I just want to make sure the coupon code I mentioned earlier is not for this new set of sketches. So I just want to make sure that's clear so there's no confusion. All right, let's get to the layout. This layout has a super simple design, and it's one that I use often with 6x6 inch papers. It's an easy to put together background of 16 2x2 inch squares. With the 6-inch papers and the 12-inch base paper we are usually working with, squares are naturally an easy element to design with. And this grouping of squares in the center is a great go-to design concept that you can easily change up with different sizes of squares. You can use larger squares like 3, 4, or 5-inch, or you can go with smaller ones like 2, 1.5, or even 1-inch. The smaller size of squares are the ones that really pair well with 6x6 inch paper pads. And of course you can use 6x6 inch papers with the larger squares, but the great thing about using 6-inch papers with smaller pieces is that the patterns in those paper pads are shrunken down to a smaller size as well. So you can get away with cutting really small pieces and still get enough of that pattern to really see it all. Sometimes with larger 12-inch papers, when you cut smaller pieces, you can't even tell what the pattern is. So these paper pads are great for those times when you want to use smaller squares or strips or other shapes. To start, I cut 16 2-inch squares out of a variety of papers. I wanted to create a really colorful background, so I opted to use many different patterns. If you wanted to simplify this look, you could use just a few patterns or colors. I used my OmniGrid ruler to help me get that first row of squares lined up where I wanted them. Then the rest were easy to fill in. Whenever I'm arranging a grouping of papers like this, I shoot for having a nice spread of colors, so I try to not have similar colors right next to each other. For this design, the middle squares don't really matter since they are going to be mostly covered with photos and other elements. Next, I'm going to put my photos right in the center. I'm using a 3-inch and 2.5-inch photo. With a busier background like this, you will definitely want a mat or frame or some sort of edging on your photos. My go-to is to just use a simple white cardstock mat. Whenever I have an arrangement of squares like this, I like to add some stitched lines along the edges of the squares. I use my ruler and pencil to draw the lines first. For this particular design, I'm creating lines that are about 1/8 of an inch from the edges, and at the ends, they will extend off the squares onto that wooden base paper. After After I've got my lines drawn, I use a foam mat and paper piercer to pierce holes along those lines. Then before I stitch, I make sure to erase the pencil lines. I'm using a white embroidery floss, and sometimes the pencil lines will transfer to the white thread and makes it look really dirty. So I always erase the lines when I'm using lighter colored embroidery floss. Then to stitch, I use 3 strands of 6-strand embroidery floss and anchor the end to the back of my layout with a piece of masking tape. To stitch, I use a back stitch. If you've never stitched before, I'll link to my stitching video down below, just in case you want to check that out and learn how to do that. Now that the stitching is done, I can start adding my title and embellishments. For my title piece, I grouped together a few word stickers with some popsicle stickers. I used foam adhesive for those pieces to help them stand out a little more. Then I added a few more stickers adhered flat and slightly tucked under the title piece, and I'm going to add more later. Next, I add my journaling strips. Whenever I'm creating with 2 photos, this arrangement is one I use often, with the photos tilted, overlapped, and staggered. This way I have an easy location for my title below one photo and an easy location for my journaling above the other photo, or vice versa. Now I'm going to start adding more stickers. I love this sticker book from Echo Park and the amount and variety of stickers I have to choose from. I ended up adding a banner to the top right corner of the background squares. Then I added some flowers, butterflies, and more of those word stickers. I can't ever seem to get enough of those word stickers. They seem to find their way onto all of my layouts. For my final detail, I used some Nuvo Dream Drops in Cloud 9 to add a little dimension to the center of the flowers. This is one of my go-to Nuvo drop colors that I use often. I love this color and how well it works with everything. It's a really good neutral. If you don't know what color to buy first, because there are so many, I would say go with this one. And that's it for this layout. This one came together so fast, even with all of that stitching. I'm typically a slower scrapbooker. I like lots of detail and am usually willing to put in a lot of time per layout for that detail. So I'm always surprised when I have a layout that comes together this quick. And it always seems to be the layout where I'm using 6x6 paper pads that happens with. It's just another reason of many to love those paper pads. If you are interested in stocking up on some 6x6 or 6x8 paper pads, we have got you covered at Scrapbook Generation. We have searched high and low to find a massive variety of paper pads, some from companies you know and love, and several from companies you maybe have not heard of. We love supporting small businesses and creators, so we make great efforts to carry those smaller companies as well. I'll link to all of them down below. And don't forget about the new sketches, the sketch I used in this video, and the coupon code. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.